Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video, I will do a deep dive into the Paladin class on the new Classic Plus server, Project Epoch, and I'm going to show you if it's a good decision to play Paladin on this server. I will show you everything new about the class, including talents, racials, and aspects about leveling and endgame. So let's dive in. First, what is new about Paladin on Project Epoch? The most important change, you can now play as a Paladin on the Horde, with Undead Paladins being a viable play option on Epoch. The first question you should ask yourself now compared to the past is Horde or Alliance. This is a personal choice and it won't affect your class later on, because another new thing on Epoch is the option to change your racials. You don't have to pick human anymore for its expertise or weapon skill, just play what you prefer most. Another new change is the introduction of hands as they did in Wrath of the Lich King and upwards. You can now have a blessing like King's Up and use Hand of Freedom, Hand of Protection or Hand of Sacrifice on top of it without removing your buff. Blessings also have a 10-minute duration here on small blessings and a 30-minute duration on greater buffs. So longer buff timers overall, in my opinion, are a quality of life update, but they could have adjusted it to 30 minutes for the small ones, in my opinion. Another new change affects your auras. All your auras are raid wide now. All of this makes your already strong raid support even stronger. On the downside, you need less paladins for a raid group with these changes. With Salvation and Kings, you got the most important buffs set up. Wisdom is nice to have, but probably not necessary. Furthermore, you have access to complete new seals. The first new seal for all paladins is the Seal of Dedication. This seal does 50% weapon damage as holy damage to one additional target. If you judge the seal, it does a flat amount of holy damage to all targets in front of you. It will also deal 35% of the damage you deal to yourself over 6 seconds. Seal of Penitence is your new undead racial seal and the Epoch version of Seal of Blood from TBC. This means every white hit also deals 35% of normal weapon damage as holy damage while losing 10% health of total damage to yourself. If you judge the seal, this deals a flat amount of holy damage with the cost of your health as well. A great seal which allows you to seal twist together with Seal of Command. This seal will be your Retribution seal if you decide to play seal twisting playstyle. Seal of the Mountain is your dwarf racial seal and it gives your attacks a chance to gain a flat amount of armor based on your attack speed, as well as increasing the damage of Hammer of Wrath by 3% for 10 seconds. This can stack up to 5 times. By judging your seal, you deal a flat amount of AoE holy damage as well as increasing the duration of your armor buff based on the amounts of stacks. This seal will be your go-to tank seal as a protection paladin. Seal of Vengeance is your human racial seal and pretty much the same as it was in TBC. With every attack, you apply a dot on your enemy which deals a flat amount of holy damage and it stacks up 5 times. Judging your seals deals damage based on the amount of stacks on your enemy. It scales with spell power, so this seal can be a good option for Retribution paladins who don't want to play seal twisting or for protection paladins for threat generation as well. Seal of Light is not new, but it got adjusted on Project Epoch. To its healing effect for the raid, it now increases the received healing of all raid members by 5% if they have full health and hitting the judge target until this effect is used up by a heal. Another interesting change in the talent tree is improved Seal of Righteousness. This talent got adjusted on Project Epoch, so it allows your Seal of Righteousness to get fully buffed by 15% and as well it is scaling with spell power now, which it wasn't on normal classic World of Warcraft. So this increases the damage of your Seal of Righteousness by a big amount and it allows new options for seal twisting and new spell power builds. Another fix you can find in the protection tree, the talent Ardent Defender got also adjusted on Project Epoch, so it is now working as intended and when fully scaled out you will get a big shield wall effect when you reach 35% health. A complete new talent is Overwhelming Light. This talent allows your Holy Light, Flash of Light and Holy Shock to splash your heal to 3 insured party members near you when you overheal your main target. This is a big buff to Holy Paladins because it removes their biggest weakness, which is AoE healing, which they were missing before. With the racial change system on Epoch, you can swap your racial abilities out and even your seals with it. This has about a weekly cooldown. If you choose a racial set from another race, for example Orc, you will lose all your racial seals in exchange. Also, spells got changed. Crusader Strike got an interesting adjustment on Project Epoch. They reduced its weapon damage to 75%, but in exchange, your Crusader Strike now deals full holy damage. This means it will be affected by a spell power scaling, and armor is not mitigating its damage anymore. It also procs your Seal of Righteousness, Seal of Vengeance and Seal of the Mountain now as well. A strong change which will be a big damage increase for Red Paladin overall in my opinion. Your Hammer of Wrath won't reset your swing timer anymore, so you can just throw it in between your outer attacks, which is a nice quality of life update. Your Avenger's Shield is now an instant cast, so no more pushback from attacks while casting it. A nice upgrade for Protection Paladins. You also got the Taunt now as Protection Paladin, which helps your tanking out really well. For Holy Paladins, Divine Illumination got a little bit nerfed. It now increases the casting speed of all spells by 50% for 15 seconds, and it causes forbearance. To compensate for this, the Holy Paladin got some nice adjustments in the Holy Tree with Overwhelming Light. Talking about seal twisting, Project Epoch changed the window you got to seal twist to make it easier. They adjusted the small window where your two seals can be activated at the same time from 400 milliseconds to 500 milliseconds. This change makes twisting easier by reducing the room for error. Seal of Command and Seal of Penitence both work as seal initiators. Seal of Command will proc every other seal but not Seal of Penitence. Seal of Righteousness also seems to be twistable in both ways and to all other seals, which gives new options compared to TBC twisting. Even better, the community found out during the beta that Seal of Righteousness as a seal initiator for twisting into Seal of Command, Seal of Vengeance or Seal of the Mountain all gives one bonus proc on top of it. So this means if you have Seal of Righteousness on and you twist into Seal of Command and Seal of Command procs, then you get one extra Seal of Righteousness proc. If you have Seal of Righteousness on and you twist into Seal of Vengeance or Seal of the Mountain, then those both seals will get an extra proc. If you have Seal of Penitence on and you twist into Seal of Command and Seal of Command procs, you will not get an extra Seal of Penitence proc. All of these changes could change when the server goes live, but this is what the community gathered during the beta tests. For Retribution Paladin, you want to go 5, 11, 45. You go 5 points into Divine Strength to increase your strength by 10%, 5 points into Readout for some off-tanking capability, 3 points into Precision for the hit, and now you can go 2 points into Guardian's Favor to decrease your hand cooldowns, and 1 point into Blessing of Kings for your raid support. In the Retribution tree, you want to go Benediction for the mana reduction, 2 points into Improved Judgment to decrease the cooldown, 3 points into Improved Seal of Crusader for more crit and damage upgrades, 5 points into Conviction for even more crit, Seal of Command to enable seal twisting, 3 points into Crusade for more damage, then you can do 1 point into Pursuit of Justice, Sanctity Aura for your holy damage increase, as well as 3 points into Two-Handed Weapon Specialization and Improved Sanctity Aura. You want 5 points into Vengeance and Repentance to open up the tree more, 3 points into Sanctified Seals for even more crit, as well as 3 points into Sanctified Judgment to give you more mana back, 5 points into Fanaticism to increase your critical strike chance of your judgments, and Crusader Strike as well as your bread and butter skill. Now you get 2 more points to play with. I will do them into Improved Sanctity Aura and Pursuit of Justice. This talent tree is the classical talent tree for seal twisting. With this playstyle you want to do seal twisting with Seal of Command and Seal of Penitence. Another option is to play into the new improved Seal of Righteousness. With this playstyle you want to go 5 points into Divine Strength, 5 points into Improved Seal of Righteousness. You could go even deeper in the Holy Tree if you want, but for now we go to the Protection Tree and take Precision with us for the hit. And we go into the Retribution Tree here, Once again, nearly the same talents to take everything which increases our damage and gives us mana back. So your talent tree could look like this. You want to take this talent tree if you want to play into the Seal of Righteousness playstyle. You can either go more spell damage with this and go for spell damage builds. What's even more interesting, you have the option to combine this with Seal Twisting. You could use Seal of Vengeance and twist it with Seal of Righteousness to build up fast 5 stacks on your enemy, then twist Seal of Penitence and Seal of Command and keep up your Seal of Vengeance stacks all the time. This needs more testing when the server is live, but this might be the best Retribution playstyle on Project Epoch damage wise. I won't go into PvP here, but I might do a upgraded one in the future. For protection, you want to go 5 points into Redoubt to increase your block rate, 3 points into Precision for more hit, 5 points into Toughness to increase your armor value, 3 points into Improved Righteous Fury for more threat, 5 points into Anticipation to increase your defense skill, Blessing of Sanctuary of course, as well as at least 2 points into Reckoning, and Spell Warding to decrease spell damage, 5 points into One-Handed Specialization, Holy Shield and its upgrades of course, as well as Sacred Duty and Ardent Defender, the new shield wall you got, Avenger's Shield and Combat Expertise. Now you want to go into the Retribution tree for Benediction, as well as Improved Judgment and Deflection for more parry, and 3 points into Pursuit of Justice to decrease the chance you will be hit and more movement speed. For your last point, you can either go Blessing of Kings if you don't have a Retribution Paladin or a Holy Paladin who brings this buff, or 1 more point into Reckoning depending on your raid setup. This is a really strong protection build for tanking, dungeons and raids as well. If you want to play as a healer, you go 5 points into Divine Intellect and the Holy Tree, 5 points into Spiritual Focus to decrease spell pushback, 3 points into Healing Light to increase your heals as well as Aura Mastery, and you can take 1 point into Improved Lay on Hands. Of course, 2 points into Overwhelming Light, your new Splash Heal talent, which is really insane. 5 points into Illumination to get your mana back by 75% on crits, Divine Favor, and 3 points into Sanctified Light to increase your critical effect chance of Holy Light and your new adjusted Seal of Light as well as your Judgment of Light, 5 points into Holy Power for even more crit, as well as Holy Shock, and 3 points into Light's Grace to decrease the casting time of your Holy Light, 5 points into Holy Guidance to increase your spell power and Divine Illumination. Now you want to go 5 points into Redoubt and Precision as well as Guardian's Favor and Blessing of Kings, and 5 points into Improved Blessing of Might because your Retribution Paladins probably won't bring this, as well as Improved Judgment for your Judgment of Light and Benediction for more mana. This is a really strong Holy Paladin healer spec. The last talent tree I want to show you is the Shockerton build. This could be also a really strong level build as well as a raid DPS spec later on. For this you go 5 points into Divine Intellect to increase your intellect, 5 points into Improved Seal of Righteousness to increase the damage you do. You can go Aura Mastery and 3 points into Healing Light to be a hybrid healer as well. The last point can either go into Divine Strength or Improved Lay on Hands, whatever you prefer. Now you take Overwhelming Light because it's too good to pass, and 5 points into Illumination, Divine Favor, Sanctified Light, Holy Power, Holy Shock of course. You can go 2 points into Purifying Power to decrease the mana cost of your Consecration and your other spells, and your last point can go wherever you want to put them, Improved Blessing of Wisdom or Divine Strength, whatever you prefer in the tree. Then 5 points into Holy Guidance, and you can take Divine Illumination because why not. In the protection tree you want at least 3 points for Precision, and your last points can go into Retribution for Improved Judgment, Improved Seal of the Crusader, and Conviction for more crit. So this could be a really strong Shockerton build for leveling and for raid. Should you play a Paladin on Project Epoch? Retribution Paladins will be a great endgame class which brings a lot of raid support and probably also good DPS depending on your weapon. If you want to level as a Retribution Paladin, it will be in the middle class of leveling compared to other classes. Until level 44, you auto attack a lot as it is in original World of Warcraft Classic, which isn't the most fun gameplay for most players. but you have self-heal and strong spells as cooldowns as Divine Shield and Lay on Hands. As soon as you hit level 44, you get Crusader Strike, which will be a nice button to press. Mana could be an issue later on, so you probably have to drink a lot on the way. In the endgame, your raid support will be so good that a lot of raids probably want at least one Retribution Paladin in the raids. Also, your damage will probably be fine with Epoch changes and it scales really good with gear. On the downside, you will have a lot of competition for raid spots because a lot of people will play Paladin on Project Epoch because of its undead options. If you want to play as a tank, the biggest weaknesses of Protection Paladin got fixed on Project Epoch. You have now a viable taunt and your Avenger Shield is now an instant cast, which is not getting punished by CC or spell pushback. With the strong fixes in the talent tree, with Ardent Defender for example, you have a working shield wall as well. Leveling as a Protection Paladin is your strongest leveling option because you can AoE tank a lot of mobs for a fast level speed. And you're also one of the best dungeon tanks out there because of your big AoE threat and damage as well as your group support. Protection Paladin seem to be a strong contender for main tanking in raids, and even 2-hand tanking could be an option later on in the endgame. For Holy Paladin as healer, you can't heal endless anymore like you did in TBC or WoW Classic, but with a good raid support you also won't have any mana issues. You also have an AoE splash heal now, which is insanely good. Holy Paladins are so good that probably every raid wants at least one in their raid. So, for a conclusion, Paladin will be a great class to play on Project Epoch in all of its different forms. You can play different playstyles as TPS, as Classic Twisterdin, Modern Epoch Twisterdin with 3 seals, with a spell damage variant, or even as a Shockerdin. As a tank, you are a strong contender for main tanking your raid, and Holy Paladins are looking extremely strong as raid healers. I won't go more into PvP at the moment, because I will do a separate video for it. It doesn't matter which spec you are going to play, your support abilities as well as your output are really strong. You can even become an undead here, which is really cool. The only downside of playing a Paladin on Epoch is your competition for raid spots because of a lot of other people who also want to tap into the light. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Paladin changes on Project Epoch. Thanks for watching, and if you found this useful, consider to like and subscribe for more World of Warcraft Project Epoch content.